Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today you'll be leading an army through different terrains like grasslands and trying to take out the enemy forces. You'll also be taking those traveling by foot through rocks and maneuvering around water and trees. You'll be trying to take out your opponent's army and win the game by capturing the opponent's commander of the legion called the Legatus Legionus. Legatus is an original two-player battle strategy game, and it's on Kickstarter right now. So I'm going to show you how the game works, and I'll see you on the other side. Now this is a Kickstarter preview, so all the art and components you see here are not final. You're going to want to check the Kickstarter page to see all of those final art and components. Now Legatus itself comes with this board, and the board can be shifted really in any direction that you like to start the game. So the terrain and the way things are can be different a little bit through each of the games. Now once you've set up the orientation of the board that you want, you actually put this Fog of War shield in the middle, because both players are going to be able to set up their own pieces without the other player seeing what's going on. Now each player is going to be setting up all their pieces any way they see fit in the three closest rows to themselves. Now there's some different terrain and such. For example, you're not able to put onto any of these trees. We'll go over more of that later. And when both players have finished setting up, you can remove the Fog of War and the play can begin. Now looking more closely at the pieces, both players start with the same exact pieces. There's 7 different types of units that each player will have, and what you're trying to do is this piece here is the leader, it's the Legatus, and you are trying to capture the other players and they are trying to capture yours. Now turns go back and forth between the players, and each player's turn can consist of multiple moves. We'll go over that in just a minute. Now let's look at the different units. These ones here are called the Hastades. You actually have 6 of them in your army. Now these ones can move up to 2. And when you move, you must move sort of in a straight line. So you can move like this, you can move like this. You cannot move through other pieces like that. You'll also notice there's different terrain. So the rocks can only be moved onto or through by units that are on foot, like this one, or these 2, but they can't be moved onto by any horses or any catapults like that. Also, when moving, pieces block other pieces, so I couldn't move this Hastade through the other one. So you could move them up to 2 like this. Also, you see terrain like this. This is water. You cannot move through water like that. Same with the trees, you can't move through those. We'll talk a little bit more about terrain in just a moment. Now, each of the units have a different type of attack. This one is called short range, which means they can move up to 2. If they moved into this hex here, they would capture this unit, because a short range attack means they basically land on it, and then that piece is captured off the board. It would be removed just like that. And that's how you get rid of your opponent's units. Now a minute ago I talked about how you can sometimes do multiple moves in a turn. So in this case, since we did capture somebody, you can make another move with any other piece other than the one you just used. So this one could now go here, 1, 2, and move this, and this is a short range capture. This one will be captured, and then we can make another move, maybe with some other unit, something like that. So this allows you to combo together all sorts of different moves and have big turns. Now a cool thing about these Hastades, we just backed it up for a minute, is that they can move in a group. 2 or more contiguous ones, here we have 4 of them, can move together. Let's say I want to move all 4. Now remember, they have a range of up to 2. We're going to move them all in that straight line like normal, and they're going to take out those 2 pieces that were right there, just like that. And because they took them out, we actually get 1 additional move. But because these ones are already moved this turn, you'd have to pick another piece. But that's how they sort of group together and work together. Now another unit is called the Equites. It's here. They're also a short range attack, so they just have to land on another player's unit. And they can move up to 3 though, unlike the Hastades who move 2. So they could go 1, 2, 3 and capture this unit off the board like this. And this is a good move too, because this player, remember you have to move in straight lines, this player wouldn't be able to sort of move around and get this player on this next turn. Now the last of the units that also use that short range attack is your leader, the Legatus. They can only move 1, and they do a short range, but they're the ones you're trying to protect. Now let's talk about some of the units that have long range attacks. This one here with the sort of bow and arrow is known as a Sagittarius. Now they can move up to 2 spaces, always in a straight line, but they have long range attack. They have a minimum of 2 that they can shoot and a maximum of 4. So they could shoot all the way up to here, but a minimum of 2 they have to be away. Now water itself you can't move through, but you can shoot over. So this player could use an attack, and unlike the ones that have the short range attacks where you actually move and actually capture players, the ones with the long range is you're either moving or attacking. And in this case, this player is not going to move, they're going to attack. They could just shoot this player here, and this one would be captured. Now, they have a range of 4. This one is 4 away. However, there's trees here, and trees block the long range attack. You can't move through them, and you can't shoot through them. So if these trees weren't here, this player would have been able to reach here because they have a maximum of 4. But let's say they just shot here, and they got this one captured with that minimum range of 2. Now remember, anytime you capture an enemy unit, you get to do another movement and or attack with one of your units. But again, it has to be a different unit that's already been moved and or attacked with this turn. So let's say this player wanted to activate this onager. Now this is sort of a catapult. They could either move up to 2, or they could do their long range attack. Now they have a minimum range of 3. So in a straight line, 1, 2, 3. So it could hit this unit, but it has an unlimited range. And any long range attack, regardless of what unit it is, even the one that I showed you just previous, can always shoot through any other units, their own or their opponent. So this player has to go a minimum of 3, could hit this one, but could also either hit this one or this one. They're only going to hit one of them, but in any long range attack unit, they can basically hit any of them in their line of sight as long as they have that. So let's say they go all the way down here and they hit this one, and then this one would just be captured. And again, because they did another capture, they could now do another move and or attack with one of their units and keep going like this. And they would keep going until either one of their units did not capture something, or if all of their other units have already moved and or attacked that turn. And again, let's say this was the unit they wanted to use. It's a long range attack, minimum of 3, but it could not hit this unit because long range attacks are always blocked by the trees. So in this case, they'd probably take a different unit to try and move and or attack with. So let's say they wanted to use this piece. This is the Emissarius. Now this piece has a different type of attack. They get to convert. So they can move up to 2, again, always in a straight line, 1, 2, and any and all opponent pieces surrounding it will get converted, which means they get captured and off the board, but they also get replaced with that same type of unit from this player. So they have extra pieces that are off the board that you actually start the game with. So this unit's now been converted, and now that since that's been captured, they can keep moving again. Remember, as long as you capture at least one of the enemy units, you can basically move and or attack with another unit. And they can actually even move and or attack with the unit they just converted. And if there was more than one unit surrounding them, they would convert all of those. So for example, this one would get converted, and this one would get converted. Again, same type of unit with the side that converted it. Now the only units that are immune to this are the other players' Emissarius and their leader, the Legatus. Now the last unit I'll talk about is this one with the spears called the Velites. Now this unit, it moves up to 2 in a straight line like all the others do, but its attack is different. It attacks exactly 2. It's a long range attack, but it doesn't have to basically shoot in a straight line like all the others. So this one could hit this one and go 1, 2. As long as it's 2 away, they can hit this one too. 1, 2. Either one of these. You're only attacking 1, but you're able to hit any one of these. So he could hit this one, he could hit this one. Couldn't quite get this one because this tree blocks this, so and this is 3 away. So they've got plenty of options there of which one they want to take out, and maybe they take out the emissary here, but they could have taken out either of the ones that I've shown. And again, since they captured a unit, they would be able to continue moving and or attacking with other units of theirs. And this will continue until any one player captures that player's leader, or the Legatus, or this player has to move 3 consecutive turns to avoid being captured. And you can also reach a draw if mutual agreement both players have completed 20 turns without a piece capture, or either player's Legatus being required to move to avoid capture. Well, there you have Legatus, and as I've shown in the overview, it's an abstract strategy game with simple rules but lots of depth, and it allows you to set up big turns since you can move another piece if you capture an enemy unit. And you can chain together multiples of those instances. Now, if you'd like to see all the final art and components and all the different pledge levels available, you can click the link below me in the description of this video, and it will take you right to the project page, and I'm sure they'd love your support.